Sometimes nobody is okay. Hey Spuds, how's it going? It's Jamie, welcome back to another video, your first video on the channel. I don't know, but welcome either way. Today I'm doing a video that I have had planned / been planning for a while, and I haven't made it yet, but here I am today. Today we're asking the question, are the trans okay? And there's different levels of this, so some of these are genuinely like trans people who have a lot of internalized transphobia that they are projecting into the world and they are causing damage and hurt, and other ones are just some trans people who are sharing opinions or doing things which could potentially cause harm without meaning to. So just like some not so great advice, and then some other ones are just funny. This is only really a serious call out of the trans people who are being transphobic themselves and being not very nice. All the other ones are just kind of, maybe that's not the best advice. And we all do that sometimes. I just wanted to have a little look and ask the question of, are the trans okay? Let's look into it. You really want your legacy to die on this hill? J.K. Rowling? Yes, sweetheart, I'm staying right here on this hill defending the right of women and girls to talk about themselves, their bodies, and their lives in any way they damn well please. You worry about your legacy, I'll worry about mine. I mean, fair, I don't want to waste time worrying about her legacy, but I will waste time worrying and pushing back against the transphobia she shares. And from this, two relatively quite well-known trans people replied, "And those of us with a brain appreciate you so much. You've only further solidified your icon status. Queen." J.K. Rowling's views and the sharing of her views on such a prominent platform has hurt a lot of people, trans women in particular, so it's surprising to me that there is a trans woman who commented that in support of J.K. Rowling. Do they not realise that what she's sharing is transphobic? And then a well-known trans man replied, "The bully behaviour in the name of trans rights is so insane." I really don't think asking somebody if they want their legacy to die on the hill of transphobia is bullying. And to be honest, what does transphobic even mean? I'm trans and you probably would consider me transphobic just because I refuse to recognise non-binary identities as similar to. And then it cuts off. As similar to what? Like trans identities? Because non-binary falls under the trans umbrella. And if you're refusing to recognise and respect non-binary identities, then yeah, the teensy bit transphobic there, you know? I don't know if it's unpopular, but I hate top surgery. I don't see how we get stuck with nasty scars looking like a botched magic trick when women and men who survive breast cancer don't get scars, often. Just another way of the effing world doing us dirty. Trans people aren't deliberately left with more scarring after top surgery. Like, the procedure of top surgery is exactly the same procedures that are used on cis men with gynecomastia. They're left with the same scars. If they have double incision, same scars. Peri, same scars. One thing I really don't like seeing within the trans community is other trans people shitting on certain types of surgeries just because it's not what they want. Just because you, I'm assuming, don't like the scars from double incision, it's very rude to call them nasty scars and botched. I'm very proud of my scars. A lot of trans people have scars. A lot of trans people have to go on journeys to accept and be comfortable with their scars. Many don't, but many do. And I think it's very unfair to sit there and be like, oh, you botched magic trick with your nasty scars. They're not nasty. It's not a botched job. Don't put pronouns in your bio. Only trans people or cosplayers do this. If you don't put pronouns in your bio, that will give off the air that you are confident in how you present, and people should be able to guess that you are male without being told. I don't think we should really be telling people whether they should or shouldn't put pronouns in their bio. A lot of cis people put pronouns in their bio, and I think like almost scaring like other trans people into being like, don't put pronouns in your bio because others will think this of you. People need to make their own decisions. Maybe people get misgendered a lot, and that's why they want to put pronouns in their bio. I think it is a bit damaging to say, and people should be able to guess that you are male without being told. You don't know about the specific situation. Unless pronouns are used in the form of a badge or in bio, lots of different factors play into when somebody makes a decision to use certain pronouns on a person that they've just met or seen. By saying this like, oh yeah, just be confident about it and then people should use the correct pronouns. Not necessarily. Imagine believing a 5-year-old can pick their gender but 18-year-olds can't consent to student loans. From a trans woman. I don't think anyone picks their gender. That's such a weird phrasing. Oh yeah, I just picked. I was 16, I picked my gender to be man. I wanted to pick it when I was 4, but I was too young. Actually, young kids of that age, like around 3 to 5, they really do get a grasp of their identity and like gender in groups and where they want to fit in and who they feel like they are. Very odd to be like, oh yeah, well, imagine if you think that a 5-year-old can pick their gender. Wow. They're not choosing. Just like cis kids don't choose their gender, neither do trans kids. And just because a 5-year-old is saying that their gender is different to the one they were assigned, it doesn't make it less true than when a cis kid is saying their gender is the same as the one they were assigned. Has anyone ever used T-gel on the T-penis? My partner used some on me and it's amazing. Okay. Right, I don't want to embarrass anybody, but you should not put testosterone gel on that area. That's not where it's meant to go. It doesn't do anything. When starting testosterone, I don't know what information other people got, but I definitely got information of like, do not put this there. No. Bedroom decorating. Saw someone ask this question, so I will make a post about it. Colours. Blue, black, grey, unfinished wood and metal, plain bed sheets and blankets. Avoid white wood and furniture, go for dark wood, unfinished wood and metal frames. Industrial. Movie and sports posters, preferably for football, NASCAR and superheroes, skateboarding stuff. Small knickknacks like trophies, Legos, tech items, pens or a few books on the shelves. Do not overcrowd the open surfaces with stuff that to me looks feminine. This is interesting. Maybe get one of those stupid Nerf basketball hoops from Target for your wall. Having sports memorabilia like miniature helmets, footballs or framed jerseys. One single mirror over a set of drawers or some sort of grey or deep blue walls. Avoid the pride flags if you can. Cis guys don't do that. Trans people aren't the only people that use pride flags. Also, avoid hanging up artwork or random stuff on the walls. A few photos can look cool, like a framed family photo in a very basic frame. If you do a full-on theme, it will probably end up looking a little childish. Please don't do a complete surfer. On one hand, I appreciate that this is like somebody asked a question, probably how to have a more masculine bedroom space. I'm going to give some tips. Fine. But on the other hand, there's just a few bits in there, you know, like overcrowding open surfaces is feminine. I don't know how. Cis guys don't put up pride flags. Yes, they do. Somebody's just gone. What is the most stereotypical masculine things I can think of? Dark colours, industrial wood, sport. Like, that's it. I'm a big believer in, like, you have to be yourself. I think there's a difference between wanting to, like, make your space feel more masculine because maybe you just figured out your identity and that's what you really want to do. Great, but it needs to still be you. And there is no one way to be any kind of person, and as a trans guy, you don't have to be hypermasculine to prove that you're a man. You are, regardless of your gender expression and your interests and the things you like and the decor that you have. If you would like to make things more masculine, fair, but some of this stuff is just like a little bit too far. Certain music tastes can help you pass better. Not trying to say you should change your entire music taste, but listen to more typically cis male artists like rap or rock. Try finding at least like 2 or 3 mainstream rappers that you enjoy listening to, and when someone new you meet asks your music taste, just say a few. You can also mention your actual music taste later on once you know the person better, but especially acquaintances or just strangers you'll never see again. It'll help not get clocked. I hate to break it to you, but the easiest way for me to notice other trans guys was the typical T-slur music taste. Sure, there are cis guys that listen to pop or Cavetown, but how often do you meet them? Why this makes me uncomfortable? You can listen to whatever music you want. I'm trying to think of all like my cis guy friends, and none of them are exclusively into rap or rock. I share music taste with quite a few of them. I just don't like this whole like cis music taste, trans music taste. I've never heard of music taste being used as like a passing thing. I am baffled. I would like to know other people's opinions on this. Also, it's dehumanizing and embarrassing to see trans men drag as men. The entire point of drag is to play pretend as the opposite gender. What about all the trans women that are drag queens? I never understood this or why trans men are giving birth. Men don't give birth. Don't transition if you want the experiences of being a woman. Oh. Okay, the drag thing was bad enough, and then it just got really bad with the whole, no, if you're a trans guy, there is nothing wrong with you wanting to carry your child and have a baby. This is the toxic kind of stuff that holds back certain people from transitioning from a long time, and to see it coming from within the trans community as well, of being like, here's a really specific way where you can be trans enough, and if you're not trans enough by these standards that I have set myself, then I don't think you should transition. That is so wrong. Like, just because there are trans guys out there who are drag kings and trans guys out there who carry and give birth to children, how does that affect you? It doesn't. Trans men are men, and they are men who can give birth, who can have periods. They're not just women-only experiences. And trans men can be drag kings. So can we please just stop with all this, like, gatekeepery stuff of like, this is how I think you should be trans. Well, that's all of it today. I feel like I got significantly more irate in that video than I thought I would. Some of it just annoyed me because I'm just like, look, mate, if you're not hurting anybody, you're just living your life, do it. I think it probably frustrates me as well because like throughout my transition, I've seen a lot of trans people being worried about coming out and being like trans enough because they're trans men who like feminine things. And I think these kind of attitudes, and these are the things you need to do to be seen as trans enough, they really don't help. Are the trans okay? Sometimes no. Maybe you think that I'm a not okay trans. Maybe you don't agree with what I've said in this video. That's fine. Let's have a chat about it down below. I just think people deserve to be themselves in both identity and expression. That's where I'm coming from with this. And I also do not like seeing trans people being, I don't like seeing transphobia regardless. And it's really just uncomfortable to see trans people like uplifting transphobia because it's just, the odd trans person that has so much internalized transphobia that they project that out. You are giving more power to the transphobes and making them feel validated more so in what they're saying. And that's not right. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, think about giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. And yeah, as always, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Much love. Bye.